Featured Teachers webinar brought to you by the American TESOL Institute. My name is Jason Levine, also known as Fluency MC, and I'm excited to introduce to you Cecilia Nobre, although some of you, maybe quite a few of you, don't need an introduction. You know how active she is in ELT, especially in social media, helping teachers. It seems like every few minutes I see her either answering a question or putting up some suggestions for materials, blog posts, videos. She's also very active on Instagram, and as a materials writer and someone who also shares a lot of what I do in social media. I have a lot of respect for her and happy that she agreed to be our featured teacher for the month of November. So, hey, Cecilia, how are you?
I'm good, Jason. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. Well, nice to see you.
Yes, nice to see you too. And I know teachers who already follow you will enjoy being here live or watching the recording, but I think it's possible you may reach some that don't know you through this webinar.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that would be great because you have really wonderful ideas, and I think very sincere in how you want to help teachers around the world, English teachers around the world. So please take it away, Cecilia.
Thank you so much, Jason. Hello, everyone. Greetings from Turkey. It's 7 p.m. here, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. My name is Cecilia, and I've been a teacher for 21 years, and for the past 5 years I've also been a teacher trainer, and currently I'm teaching EAP students. I teach English for academic purposes at a private university here in Istanbul. I'm based in Istanbul at the moment, but I'm from Brazil. And I'm going to talk about some of my favorite topics in ELT, if I can say that. There are so many, but this is one of them, which is authentic materials and authenticity, because I myself, I try to make my lessons as engaging and authentic as possible. And sometimes I share my lessons. I have a blog post and I share my lessons with other teachers. And I always try to use interesting, meaningful materials that I find on the internet. And so I wanted to share some ideas with you on, why is authenticity important? Should we use authentic materials regardless of anything? So we're going to discuss that, okay? So thank you again for being here. If you are on Instagram, if you want to follow me, I'm at this lead here, Cissa Nobre. I'm always sharing materials, ideas. I love to connect with other teachers, so it will be a pleasure to have you on my social media. All right, let's get started. So first of all, I would like to know from you, and if you want to type in the chat box, what is authenticity to you? Okay, what's the first word that springs to your mind when we talk about authenticity? And I know this is a very broad concept. I know, I'm aware of that, but what does it mean to you? Can you type some ideas in the chat box? Okay, real, unique, original, wonderful. Okay, so these are all positive adjectives, right? So is authenticity always positive? We're going to talk about that too, okay? Okay, so all these words are related to authenticity, okay? And there isn't a universal concept for that. I'm going to share some of the concepts that I agree with, written by some ELT experts, okay? And why I believe authenticity, when it's done appropriately, can really become a game changer in our teaching. Okay, so authenticity can empower both learners and teachers, not only learners, but teachers as well, because as some of you mentioned, it connects the individual learner to the content used for learning. And this content is really, really important. Yeah, how are we going to use that content? Okay. And even ELT specialists, it's a disputable concept, okay? They don't agree in one unique description, okay? So I'm going to share some of them with you. Okay, Grellet in 81 said, authenticity means that nothing of the original text is changed and the layout is retained, okay? So it's something that it's not modified. You may agree, you may disagree. So we should not adapt something like that, okay? Whereas Nunnan says authentic materials are produced for purposes other than to teach the language, okay? So, for example, a menu when you go to the restaurant, or what else? Social media post, okay? If we talk about trendy materials, so they are not designed for the classroom, okay? All right, so I'm going to share here some of the factors that I think are important when selecting some authentic materials, okay? Well, they should provide language input and skills development. So this is very important, not just, oh, for example, let's say you want to teach, I don't know, some aspects of the present perfect, okay? So you want a text or a video that has a lot of present perfect examples, okay? But what about skills? What are the skills that you want your students to develop? Okay, so ideally, the authentic material should provide both, not just language, but also skills, okay? It should provide a thought-provoking insights, okay? So, thought-provoking, oh, sorry, there's a typo there. Thought-provoking insights, Noah here. Okay, so it should really trigger that little key in the students' minds. Something else that is important is to have an easy familiarity. So it shouldn't be something completely new to students. Otherwise, they might feel threatened. They might feel intimidated. Okay, which is something that we don't want to create in the classroom. Okay, so they should be comfortable when manipulating that material. Okay, ideally they should look and say, oh, that's something I read last week, for example. Okay, that happens sometimes with my students when I present a video. The other day we were talking about technology, and I presented a video. It was a viral video on that DNA journey. I don't know if you've watched it. It went viral some years ago. I don't know, 3, 4, 5, and most of them have watched the video before. So it was great because they were familiar with the video, and it's wonderful. It gives a positive impression in our students' mind, which is related to the familiarity, which is also related to the thought-provoking insights. Okay, because we want our students to feel happy, to feel engaged in the classroom, not the other way around, right? So it should create this positive impression. And that's why we should be really mindful when choosing the appropriate material when we're teaching. For instance, if your student, I don't know, if they are not interested in politics, let's say, they're not interested in politics. They want to study business English. Do you think perhaps that bringing a text or an article or a tweet related to politics now, do you think they might enjoy? I don't think so. Okay, so we really have to be sensitive in regards to that. Well, the effective authentic materials also provide a sense of security to teachers as well. So not only should our students feel comfortable, feel at ease, but also us, okay? This is really important, because if you're not, if you really don't enjoy the material that you're using, why did you choose that, okay? And it should also offer useful information to deal with language. Okay, but it's not only a bed of roses. Some teachers show some concern when, valid concern when using authentic materials. So you may also agree with some of them, okay? So some materials may contain unfamiliar language that really is much higher, the level of the language of lexis is much higher than your student can deal with, okay? So this, it may not be the best material for that, for a certain lesson. Some teachers also complain that it's hard to use authentic materials without adapting them, because you know the language, there isn't a syllabus, right? We cannot follow a syllabus when using authentic materials. Maybe you see you know, different types of verb tenses and vocabulary as well, so it is not neat, okay? And these may be a problem for some students, but the world is not neat. So so some materials may also contain errors, okay? That, and when I say errors, I'm talking about not unconventional language, okay? For example, slang terms, depending on the type of lesson you're teaching, of course, okay? But yeah, we always have to check and double check and proofread the materials that we choose. We have to see if they are also copyrighted, if they are freely available. If you find something on the internet and if you want to share, you have to check if it's copyrighted. And I think the biggest concern is, I think what most teachers complain about is it's really time consuming. It can be time consuming because there is so much to deal with. So, you know, so much language and video, and maybe you want to have a transcript. So it may be time consuming. But I would say that my solution to that is when you really develop something that takes so much time to develop, you can reuse it, you can repurpose, you can reuse it. So it's not just a one-off event. So you're going to use that material over and over again. So this may be worth it. All right, so just a few ideas of authentic materials that are freely available, okay? Which of these do you usually use in your lessons? Podcasts, news, interviews, utility bills, if you can get handle of utility bills. Which of these do you already? Realia, yes, yeah. Which of these do you already use in your lessons? Or which of these would you like to use more often? Let me see. Utility bills. Well, if you're teaching numbers, for example, maybe utility bills are suitable. Yeah. IG stories. I love Instagram, so sometimes I use not the stories, but the posts that I find interesting. I've used, well, several of them. Okay. So what are some characteristics of good materials? They should have impact, okay? They should be memorable, ideally, right? The students should remember them and really internalize what you're trying to teach, the skills or the vocabulary. So the impact is really important. As I've mentioned before, the material should help students to feel at ease, okay? It's a non-threatening environment. If it's too difficult or the topic is, if they are unfamiliar with the topic, this perhaps is not the best material for them, okay? Which leads to the development of their confidence, self-esteem. Okay, this feeling good idea. They should develop their confidence, not knock it down. Okay. And of course, they should. This is a perception from them. Okay, so learners should perceive learning materials as relevant and useful. So we really have to be mindful about choosing the materials and seeing how relevant, how meaningful is that material to that group of students, or if you're teaching one-to-one to that student, okay? Because you have to think about the objective of the lesson, okay? And I always tell, I always say that to teachers. First is the objective, and then is the material, not the other way around, okay? You don't choose the material and then you come up with whatever objective of the lesson. So first, what is the objective of your lesson? What is the expected outcome? Does my material help students achieve that outcome? So this should be you have to have this in mind. Is it relevant? Is it useful? Does it give this positive effect of instruction to be delayed as well? By self-investment, I mean really students taking that initiative to learn and to engage with the materials, okay? So, so ideally our materials, our authentic materials should lead students to become more self-disciplined as well. Okay, it's not us spoon feeding them. Okay, so in terms of evaluating the material, so how can we really ensure that we're choosing the most suitable materials for our students? So some questions that can help you. Okay, which language skills do the materials cover? This could be one question to think about. And as I've mentioned before, are the materials compatible with the syllabus? And is there an overlap between the syllabus and the materials? And how authentic and relevant are the text types in the materials? So for instance, Lai said a cooking video, right? So a recipe and instructions. So are the videos or the text types really relevant and authentic? And how do you and your students feel about the materials? Okay, do they feel good about them? Do they feel threatened? Is it going to cause any kind of discomfort? If If there is any red flag, don't do it. Okay? It may happen, and you will only find out when you try it. Okay, and some researchers, they divide the authenticity into four aspects, four paradigms. Okay, and we're going to talk about them. So it's not only authentic materials, but what else? So most of them divide into tasks. Okay, task authenticity, classroom authenticity, learner, and materials. Okay, so we're going to talk about each of them. So authenticity in text, they refer to, they reflect real life demands. They also support a more creative approach to teaching, something outside the box. Okay. They also should engage with a particular group and create this kind of discourse for meaningful purposes, for relevant outcomes. And it also gives input data to our students. New language, new vocabulary. For example, this is, as you can see, from BBC News. This is from June this year. It's about the Black Lives Matter movement that happened in London. Okay, and this is a very powerful, I love this photo. It's a powerful photo that went viral in some countries. I don't know, do you know, do you know this photo? Have you seen this photo before? Tell me in the chat box, yes or no. You can be honest, okay? No, okay? No, oh my God, no. I spend too much time on social media, you see? Okay, no. Yeah, this happened in London, maybe, yeah, maybe that's why, but no, I'm not either, Claudia. This is from, I don't watch TV. This is from, this is from, I think I was reading some tweets, and then I follow BBC on Instagram, I follow BBC on Twitter, and when the movement started, that was one photo. Can you understand what's happening in this photo? Can you understand? Can you guess? So you don't know what's the photo about, but can you guess? So this guy, his name is, I Googled his name is Robert, I think, Robert. He even gave an interview for the BBC after that. He's helping a white guy, and this guy who's he's carrying is, he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was trying to disturb the movement, the protests, and he got kicked. All of a sudden, people started kicking him, you know, fighting, and this guy, he helped him. He was trying to take him aside and really save him. Okay. So, yeah. So for instance, if you read the text and if you watch the interview that Robert gave, you will understand more, okay? But for example, the language, I read the article, the language could be reporting verbs in the news, okay? Past simple, past continuous for describing mood. The topic is current, racism, the protests, Black Lives Matter protests, okay, civic participation. So this is a viral photo. This could be a task, okay, just a suggestion. Describe a viral photo. Why did the photo go viral? Have you seen that photo on social media feed? You know the story behind, oh, Patrick, not Robert, I'm sorry, Patrick. Why is this photo regarded as one of the most powerful photos of the year? And I read an article about that. It's like the most powerful photos of the year. And this was one of them. Okay. All right, so another type of authenticity is authenticity in learner, okay? It's really when the learner, your student, accept and kind of validates the materials and the tasks that we propose, okay? It really relates to their personal interest, to their, to their background, okay? So it's a kind of validation. So there's a personal engagement through which learners involve in. For example, if you were my learners, this would be a complete fail because you don't know the photo. It doesn't, perhaps it doesn't generate anything to you. Okay. I don't know. So, okay. Perhaps with my Brazilian students, this, again, they wouldn't have seen this photo before, and maybe, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't be interested. Okay. It can create, can generate a genuine interest from students, not just participation, but really an intrinsic interest from them. Okay. And they redefine any materials against their priorities. So because we're teaching them, right? We're not teaching the material. We want our students to engage with the material. So this authenticity is really important too. Whoops. Okay, authenticity in the classroom or in the environment. Okay, what do I mean by that? So the quality of language used by learners. Do they really interact? Do they engage with each other? Do they engage with you? What kind of language output can you get from that interaction? Do they really try to communicate with you and with their peers? Okay, and this also has to do with their imagination. Do they try to create dialogues and language, and perhaps use their imagination to communicate, even if they perhaps if they don't know the language point you're teaching, but they really try to to say something. You know, when that happens, something that happens that I love, when they say, teacher, can I say this in Turkish? And in my case, my students, right? Because it shows me, and I say, yes, of course. And it shows me that they are really, it's like they're busting, they want to say something. So, and I let them speak in Turkish a little bit, and I also ask some of them to translate. So, and you welcome the unexpected and surprise in this interaction, in this participation, okay? They're not just looking bored, you know what I mean? So when they look bored and they don't even try to interact. So it's just the opposite. And teachers foresee the feasibility. Again, we're talking about the relevance, how doable it is to use that material of task demands for meaningful interaction. Okay, authenticity in tasks. So what we're trying to do is to really emulate the real life tasks, right? As much as we can for the classroom environment. So we don't want mechanical responses. We don't want them to memorize or to memorize something. Okay, we really want, as somebody said in the beginning of our webinar, spontaneous responses. Yeah, and how can we do that? We can do some problem solving activities. Usually, I'm usually talking about information gap activities, you know? So you have some information, they have something different, so you have to come up with that overlap, okay? For example, a recipe. So they have piece of a recipe, and you have the other the instructions, for example. So you have to find out the missing pieces. Okay, and I'm sorry. Task-based learning loves authentic materials. So if you like the task-based approach, you have to use authentic materials. So simulations, decision-making exercises. So it should have real-life relevance. Even if you're teaching business students, okay? I remember once a teacher asked, oh, but I teach business English. I think this is more authentic than anything else, because they might, you can use their own company materials, brochures, and websites, and you can simulate video calls, interviews, and you can use student-generated materials from their work environment. So it is relevant to them. Okay, for instance, let's have a look at this material here. As you can see, this is from Facebook. So is it authentic? The fan page, Board Panda art. And you know something that I really like on Facebook and Instagram, not only the material, the photo, the video, but I love to read the comments. The comments are amazing. They're so powerful, and you can use the comments as well. Okay, so this one was artist updates Disney princess as modern women. So if you click on the article, it is great. The artist updated. So as you can see here, before and after. Yeah. What kind of language, just by looking at the photo, everyone, what kind of language can you cover? Can you focus? Think about just language. Think about before and after. Yes, yeah, Jason. Used to, yeah, for past. Present perfect. She used to be like that. She used to wear blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And what about lexis, vocabulary? What can you comparatives? Yes, Jessica. What about vocabulary? She has updated her look. Appearance, yeah. You can talk about makeup, type of hair, right? Skin color, skin complexion, color, yeah. So, and the materials, no, the comments. So have a look at the comments in this one, for instance, yeah. So Mary Ann, Annabelle, and Owa. What do these comments have? What do these comments have in common? How can you exploit that? So Mary Ann, Annabelle, and Olaf, did they like the new princesses? What are they doing in the comments? They don't like it, yeah. So they are criticizing, right? Yeah, they're giving their opinions, but they're criticizing. Yeah. So there is a language for dislike and criticizing. Leave them alone. Good grief. I like that. And you can you can see some vocabulary as well, right? Leave the curls and waves alone. So it's similar. Leave them alone. Leave the curls and waves alone. This one is a bit simpler. But you can really see how much language, how much input, how much data can you get just from the picture, the comments. I really like Annabelle's comments, amazing. Because she's giving some arguments. Yeah, you can ask your students perhaps to read her arguments and, you know, do you agree with her arguments? Do you disagree? Yeah. Just be careful because some comments may contain swear words. So you really have to read before and see if they are appropriate. So you can also exploit the reactions. There is likes, heart, and laugh. Why do you think, you know, maybe you can ask your students, why do you think there is, you know, there is a laugh here? Why do you think people laugh? So you can exploit that as well. Okay, just to give you an idea. For instance, okay, so let's have a look at this specific material from the 4 paradigms, okay? Text, task, learner, and classroom. Okay, and this, I created this kind of chart, but it's really up to you. Okay, so text authenticity, yeah, so it's from Facebook. It's something creative, something fun, right? The cultural awareness, I think everybody knows Disney, yeah? So it might not be unfamiliar for anyone, right? So it's a safe, let's say it's a safe topic. But there's a but, of course. And the topics, and what kind of subtopics can it generate? Modernized society, feminism, maybe. Women empowerment, maybe. Or not, as you can see the comments, yeah, they didn't like the new princesses. So topics that you can exploit. But you know, if your students are not into feminism, they are not interested, they don't care about women empowerment, this may not be the best material, yeah? Okay, in terms of task, as we discussed before, it provides opportunities for language use, present, past tense, use it to, present perfect, okay? What else? Develop skills. So preference, persuasive opinions, the comments, right? Agreement, disagreement, strong opinions, like goodness, good grief, right? So you can exploit this degree of disagreement and agreement, okay? You can also tackle speaking, writing conventions, okay? How do we write on social media? Is it something more formal, more informal? Do we write as we speak? So this may, you may talk about that with your advanced students. And this is something you should be careful with, okay, teachers, is the kind of task and the level. So do you think, what kind of level do you think this skills, what do you think is the most suitable levels here? Like A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2? A2, I'm not sure if A2 students would be able to do that, Claudia. It depends. If they are strong, yeah. But I was thinking about strong B1s, B2, solid B2s. Yeah. You have to grade the language and the tasks, right? In terms of learner authenticity, so perhaps this is my understanding, okay? This perhaps would engage more women than men. Okay, I'm not sure if men would be interested in talking about these ideas. I don't know. Interaction with resources, well, most likely they will, you know, generate heated responses. And learner will possibly validate it because it connects to the familiarity. And if it's, again, if it's relevant to them as well, okay? So this is, these are some aspects of learner authenticity. What about classroom authenticity? So it will probably create engaging and fun atmosphere, okay, because it's not a serious topic. It's more fun. Learners will likely come up with emergent language. They may want to say, I don't know, they may want to describe how, you know, how they feel, how disappointed, and depending on the level of the students, yeah, you will need to help them with this incidental language, which is wonderful. I think it's wonderful. We really need to encourage them to come up with their own ideas, yeah? And they will learn new vocabulary, new expressions. And I also thought about the quality of interaction, okay? The wide range of perspectives. Some of them may agree with the comment, with some of them may disagree. So you will likely have a nice variety of responses, which is great. And you can also use, everyone, I believe we can also use course books. We can use course books, which is not authentic, of course, but I think we can make the task authentic, and we can make the classroom authentic. So for instance, this one, top tips to save money, very quickly. So this is a text. This is from Evolve, okay? It's a B1. I really like this course book, Evolve by Cambridge. And one of the activities here, okay, write it. It's a writing activity. I'll have to go very quickly, okay? So this is from the book. I didn't do anything. Imagine you have a vlog. In today's vlog, you're going to make suggestions for saving money on the 2 topics below, phone and transportation. Write your script. Don't forget to use one and them. Okay? Then work with a partner and film your vlog. Watch the vlogs in your class and say what the best advice is. What do you think about this task, everyone? Do you think that it is authentic? Is it relevant? What are the drawbacks? Are there any drawbacks in your opinion? What are they? Would your B2, B1 students enjoy doing that, you think? Give me your opinions in the chat box, please. Okay, Dani, I found them engaging. I would only open up more topics, let them pick what they want and discuss on the video. Okay, okay. So you open up to more topics, not only phone and transportation, but maybe, for example, house, yeah, housing bills, maybe, yeah, water, or, okay, yeah. What about filming a vlog? Do you think all of them would be up for that? What do you think? Some of my students wouldn't like that. We have to persuade them. If not, that's okay. You leave it. No, right? Yeah. Any other opinion, everyone? Would they like it or not? I don't think we have much time, but just you could add an option for doing an audio. Oh yes, definitely, Jason. Yeah, podcast, audio only. Yeah. But I really like the script because this is what we do, right? When we are preparing for a webinar, a presentation, or podcast. And I think this is really relevant. All tech fans would like that. Yes, Christina. Yeah. So it really depends. You have to know your students to see, to think about how they would react to that. Yeah. That's it, everyone. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can email me, but we can open for questions, for ideas.
Okay, wonderful. Good. So please, if you have a question, it's a very thought-provoking webinar. So if you have a question you'd like to ask.
You mentioned objective first, but materials can inspire. Yeah, but definitely. Yes, Georgie? I think if you have private students, you have more freedom to really choose perhaps the materials first and then the objectives. But if you teach at a language schools or a university or an institution, you have to follow the syllabus, right? Thank you so much, Claudia. Dani, what would be better? Authentic materials for beginners. Yeah, authentic materials for beginners. I wouldn't change much. So just going back to the ideas here. For example, if you choose a video, you can ask them to watch from a certain point to another certain point. If you have a 5-minute video, maybe ask them just to watch that particular timing and focus on the questions, focus on the task, not the material. You see, it's really the task. You can exploit the setting, the characters, but not really the language so much. Exploit other items from the video, from a news article as well. You can focus on the title, the headline, the pictures, and it's really focusing on the task in this case for beginners. But I wouldn't change anything. I would use the same types of materials, but adapting. Okay, you can adapt and facilitate for your beginners. A1, A2s. You can ask them to bring their own materials as well. Pictures, photos, social media.
The matrix. Yeah, I was just going to say, I really appreciated that also, your kind of authenticity checklist chart.
Okay.
Is that something you recently developed, or is that something you've used?
This?
Yeah.
I developed that. Yeah.
But is it something recent, or have you used it for a long time now?
It's recent. Yes. When I was reading more about authenticity.
Yeah.
This one, yeah?
Very useful. I'm assuming that's what the matrix is.
Yeah, it's like, what is matrix?
Yeah, I know, it's really useful.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the four paradigms when we choose a material, not just the material. So you can think about other aspects, right? Yeah. So we are not slave to the material only. We can exploit other areas.
Yeah, this is fantastic for teacher training.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. So if there aren't any more questions, thank you.
Well, Cecilia, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone.
My pleasure.
Who is here live, and you can see the feedback is super positive. Not
wonderful.
Surprising.
Lovely. Yes. Thank you so much, Jason, again for the invitation. Thanks everyone for taking your time on a Saturday to join us. I really appreciate, and it shows that you think about your development, right? If we do that on a weekend. So thank you so much.
And you inspire them to do so. And thanks for making it so interactive, both to Cecilia and people who answered questions, and that always makes it much much more interesting. So,
My pleasure.
all
Okay.
right.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Take good care and
Bye
see
bye.
you soon. Bye,
See you
everybody.
soon, everyone. Bye bye.